Hey, what's up, everybody? Mogion Monster here, and welcome to Why the Fascination, or WTF as we like to call it. Hope everybody's having a good night. Good to see everybody in chat already. Great to see everybody. My eyes, how are you? Stay away from those jalapenos. My eyes. Couldn't resist. Angel Nolan, how are you? Jay Fritz, what's up, buddy? Sandra Piper, hello. Hey, Charlie, Howling Underdog Films, what's up, bud? Hi, Cindy. Mr. Ben, what's up, bro? Great to see you. Tracy Benna, how are you? Sharon? Oh, right on. It's a great start, 28 already, and I just turned the button on. Woohoo. So, welcome to Why the Fascination, guys. If you've never been here before, it's pretty simple. What I do is I put the link in chat, and you or anybody can click on the link and come on the show and discuss whatever you want to discuss. Usually it's Bigfoot, paranormal, cryptids, or fishing or whatever. We're not that picky. We just like to hang out with each other. We got a good bunch of people here. So, if you're here, sit back, enjoy. Hop into fun if you want to hop in. Jamie, how's it going? Ellen's Holistic Heaven. Great to see you. Hey, Jen. So, yeah, when I put the link in chat, all I ask is that, you follow the directions and turn off the YouTube when you're done. Because before you click on StreamYard, you have to have YouTube off. And if you don't want to be on camera, you can just hit the stop camera button. And that's what you get. Mike Patrick, I don't know about that, brother. But I appreciate it. Who else do we have here? The Batmom. What are you saying? I look like shit or you feel stoned? You look how I feel. Just not sure how to take that. It's all good. Davy Jones Locker, what's up? How are everyone? Oh, man. So, yeah, hopefully we'll get a bunch of people and some people that want to pop on and just have a good show, I can call it a show. Just have it a good hangout section, whatever. All right. The link is in chat. So if you want to join me, click on that link. Mr. Lee, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Glad you came. Mr. Lee says, Swamp. Ida Bustamante. What's up, hon? Who else? It's funny, by the time I get to the top and scroll back, and there's a whole new crew in here. Sugar Britches, how are you? Bigfoot Anon, what's up? Judy Wheeler, how are you, Judy? I think we got just about everyone covered for now. So I thought I saw someone mention Jeff in there, but I don't know if I saw him. Strangeland, what's up? Pine Island Research, did I miss that? Just didn't see him. Hey, Nikki. Harry Man, Hoaxes and Hoodwinks. Welcome, Brian and Chewy. All right. Well, damn. What are you guys coming in to see? I mean, it's there's almost 60 here. We just started. No, I'm glad everybody's here. This is awesome. Chat's flying, huh? He wanted to talk. He wanted to talk boobies. We can talk boobies. Aren't they extinct bird? I'm curious how they went extinct. Actually, weren't they? Now, maybe it was the dodo. They were basically eaten to extinction. Either the dodo or there's another one in Australia that they ate it till it was no more. Warp speed chat. You know what, guys? I've never slowed it down, and I wouldn't know how. And I don't think I can do it from here. I'd have to hop on YouTube. Did I even hit it? Why is it not? That's weird. I hit send. Didn't send. Now the link is in chat. Yeah, I think I got to clean this computer out. It's just a laptop. I've been using this thing for same computer for how many years now? Shit. What's up, Kevin?
Not much, Russ. How you doing, bud?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I got to make an arrangement with you to get up there and drop off that canopy.
Yeah, well, maybe we can meet up halfway, share a little bit of the burden. But yeah, I just found out yesterday at about 2:00 that Squatch Camp was open. So by 4:00, I was up there, went and spent the night. Had a pretty cool night.
Do you get up to 91 at all?
No.
No?
No, not since that last trip. It was just, the night up there, heavy thunderstorm came in and so we spent a little bit of time just sitting inside the camper, but had activity, but nothing spectacular there. But yeah, last night over at Squatch Camp was one of the better nights, especially for being just a single night. One of the better nights I've had this year. So,
right on. What went on over there?
Well, it's kind of drawn out, but I got up there. I went over to my gift stump, left 5 powdered donuts. Found it. Those spin wheels that kids play with. I blow on them, and
sure.
I'd left one of those out there, wedged in a log, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, and I found that underneath a couple big pieces of bark. So I put that back up, and I went out, make my phone calls, and I did a real quick live video because I wanted to actually go live in about a half hour. And I was sitting there at the phone booth, and I was like, well, I'm getting thirsty, and I don't know how long my battery's going to last. So I walked back to camp, which is about 300 yards, and got my power supply and Gatorade and went back out there. And I always walk the same path, do the same loop, and did my video and what have you. And I went to leave, and about 10 feet away from my seat was this little glyph, 3 sticks that were kind of like in this triangle shape that was not there when I'd left to go back to camp the first time. And so I was like, well, that's pretty cool. And I decided to change my route, and I backtracked and went back over to the gift stump, and that pinwheel head was off laying on the ground. There was absolutely no wind. The powdered donuts weren't touched, but I did get a little zap. So fast forward, I went back over to my campsite and was sitting out and had seen this real quick little twinkle light over in a group of trees that we call the room. And I got a little tingle from that. And then I saw this white streak of light. Best way I can describe it is like an orb that had a tracer behind it. But then I started hearing the footsteps around me, the clicking. And on the other side of my truck, I heard a clack. and then a little farther back behind that branch break. So I did a hand clap, and immediately behind me, back at like my 7 o'clock position, I get, and this is the first time I've heard him whistle like this, but it was something to the effect of, and so I did that back to him, and another one off at about my 11 o'clock, another one off at about my 2 o'clock, and then another one back behind me at my 4. So the 5 of us for, God, probably 10 minutes, we're just whistling back and forth at each other. It's dark out. There's no birds out. There's nothing, they're literally, I would say probably the closest person camping to me at that point would have been about probably 7-8 miles away from me. I mean, that I'm just very secluded, so it's not somebody else out there playing it, playing in the trees with me.
Do you have a voice recorder with you?
I actually did not take it this time. It was just a real, my buddy Wayne, who's always out with me, he was actually up at close to the 91 site, and he called me up and said, "Hey, Squatch Camp is open." And I was like, "Sweet, I'm going." So I all I did is I grabbed my sleeping bag, 2 sleeping mats, and a jacket, and threw them in the truck, and did him out, and went out there. Which is one of the interesting things that happen, the telepathy, the mind speak. Whenever I know they're around, I always address them as friend or brother. And I got asked, "Why do you call us brother?" And it wasn't a concern or anything like that. And I explained, I said, "Look, in my world, someone I trust and someone that I respect, I call my brother. And so with that, I trust you and I respect you, so I call you brother." And so there was like a happy response to that. And, one of the very first thing I ever recorded them saying on audio was "hick to su shk." And I have always asked them what that meant. And I kind of think I got the answer to it on this trip, as I got "do not record." And, and I never take video or camera, I'm not out trying to get pictures and proof or anything like that. So I'm kind of on the side that they don't want me using the audio recorder anymore, which is, pretty funny because I didn't bring it with me. It's normally always in the truck. So I don't know that I'm going to be doing any more audio recording, at least not for a while. Because with the vocalizations, and the whistling, and and hearing the women talking off in the distance, and not having the audio going, I think gave them a little more ease behind it. Would be the best way I could suggest that. But the activity finally started to die down, so I went in the back of the truck to go to sleep. And I hit my trifecta of screw ups. One, I didn't take a pillow. Oh. Two, I didn't take my CPAP. And 3, I had 2 thick pads, but I could feel every dip and groove in the bed of the truck. And so I'd sleep for 40 minutes and be up for 10 minutes and, rolling around trying to get comfortable, and, back to sleep maybe an hour and then up for 20 minutes. At one of the times, so that I woke up, you'll know what I'm saying. My hair was all over in front of my face, inside the sleeping bag and everything. But when I pulled my head out, I'm not dogmatic about it. I won't go to court and, raise my right hand and say, "This is what I saw." But I swear I saw a figure standing probably about 40 yards in front of me. And I was like, I went back to sleep. Then I got woke up to what sounded like a very huge boulder being dropped onto a downed rotten tree. It was just kind of this thud sound. And from the direction where that thud sound came from and about the distance, that's part of my path when I come back from my phone booth. There is a pretty good size, well, not big, but probably 20-inch diameter, 25-inch diameter downed pine tree that, if it got hit real hard, would have made that kind of thunk sound. But so anyway, about 4 o'clock in the morning rolls around. I wake up again, and I'm just like, you know what? Screw this. I'm done. Um, Laid there for about 15 minutes, and I got my boots on, climbed out, folded up the tailgate, threw my truck into or my chair into the back of the truck, and on my way home. So I rolled out of there about 4:30 this morning.
Oh wow.
But
Hey,
yeah,
Mo. Hey, Kevin. How
Hey,
y'all
what's up,
doing, man?
man?
I'm
How's it
doing
going, buddy?
good, Ben. How are you?
I'm doing great. Great.
So what's going on, man?
Man. Last week, bro, the whole week I was like 72 hours last week. So I didn't know. I didn't watch YouTube at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How you
Wow.
doing now?
I'm off right now. I'm chilling, bro. I'm drinking some beer.
Good. Right on.
I'm listening to Kevin telling a story, bro.
I'm
I
waiting for you to ask questions.
Right?
As you
Hey,
always
bro,
do.
it's coming, bro. It's coming. I will not ask any, I will keep my questions very neutral.
Yeah. Well, not to backtrack or anything like that.
Hey, Christy.
The last time that I was on the show, Russ, if I came across a little gruffed or anything like that, just guys, please forgive me. It's just a lot of stress that we've been under with the death of my brother-in-law, and
Man, I forgive you, bro.
and just all the crap going on with that. So yeah, that last show I kind of snapped a little bit, but I do apologize about that.
Don't worry about it, man.
No, it's out of character for me, but we're all human.
Oh, dude.
Shit happens to everybody.
You hung out of character? Go watch Sunday's show.
I
Yeah.
did watch most of that.
Hey, sorry. I don't want to bring that shit up. Paramedic, what's happening? Hey, Neon Moon. Welcome. Patrick Vaughn.
One thing
go ahead.
One thing I would like to say though about their experience that they had when they had their breakdown, if they are willing, I would love to talk to them. I don't care where it happened. I mean, I can generalize the area because
so can I.
But I would just like to have a chance to talk with them, see if any of what they experienced tied in. I just started to watch that episode where they were telling what's going on. But I if they're willing to talk to me, it would be in absolute confidence. It's just some personal knowledge I would like to have. As far as happening up in my area.
Yeah, no, that's a possibility. That's up to them. I'm not. They're two of them. I believe are in chat. And Stevie's probably listening. But yeah, that's up to them. I'm just, but I'm like, I'm just looking out for them.
Oh, absolutely. And it's hard enough when you're not expecting something to happen and you have something that just completely challenges everything you think and then to actually come on and and talk about it, that takes a lot. And I've got the utmost respect for them.
No, I do too, and I think everybody here does.
Yep.
So yeah, they heard it. They'll either reach out to you or reach out to me, so they can reach out to you.
Yep. That's all I got to say on that. So
no, right on, man. Mogs, I told Kevin to get my number from you. See, now Jay just told me that.
Oh, yeah.
Right on. I will take care of that after the show.
There you
go. Breeze, what's happening, man? Good to see you.
Did you change your phone number?
since
I don't know. Since the last time I talked to you on the phone when you stayed here.
no.
Huh. I tried to call it and
When?
oh, 3 days ago, 2 days ago.
No, it's been on. It works.
Yeah.
I got your number, so I'll just, when I call you, you'll have my number.
Yeah, right on.
I don't know why it would
No.
might be off a number or something.
So come on, Ben. I know you got something for me.
Man, I rewatched everything, and there's a lot of stuff going on. So I'm treading carefully. I'm treading carefully. So
Yeah, I'm gonna head up that way soon. That's why I was gonna call you about the canopy.
Okay.
Because
Well, I'm going to be at Squatch Camp this next Monday through Thursday or Friday. But
what is Squash Camp, man?
it's just campsite.
It's what I named the campsite where basically all this first kicked off for me.
Okay.
It's just a very primitive, out in the middle of nowhere campsite, and I had all kinds of Squatch activity happen there, and so I gave it the name Squatch Camp. That's where, and it's just a really special place in my heart. Just some phenomenal stuff happens. So,
Mr. Hilton, what's up, buddy?
I'm gonna pull a Sasquatch Chronicles guy, Wes, and say, what do you think Sasquatch are?
what do I think they are?
Yes.
The honest answer is I haven't the slightest idea.
Yeah.
Now, hypothesis that I have, and it's just a fancy word, a very expensive word for guess. But I'm letting all my experiences, everything I've seen and heard and felt and all that, is it's kind of on a biblical side of things.
I got you.
But as far as like Nephilim, no, absolutely not.
Okay.
I think they're the new Watchers.
But weren't the Nephilim? No. Oh no. Okay. So like fallen angel type. Yep.
Well, not necessarily fallen angels, but because the word angel just means messenger. It's bottom line is I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, that's a great answer. You don't know.
Yeah, who or what they are, but I have a working theory, and at any given moment, being intellectually honest, that can change at any given moment. All it takes is one experience, and it's like, nope, okay, throw that one out the window, start over.
Trial and error.
Yep.
Yeah.
The thing is there's so much more going on than what the typical person has any possible understanding of. I've been doing this a little over 5 years now, and if 5.5 years ago I would have heard myself talking about the stuff that I've seen and all that, I've been, oh dude, you're full of shit, you're a crackpot.
Yeah.
But because I'm a nuts and bolts kind of guy. I'm very analytical. I'm very methodical, and and I hate using the word research because I'm not out there researching. I'm out there learning. I consider it a field of education, not a field of research. And there's probably a fine line dividing the two, but we're very methodical in what we do. Everything that goes bump in the night is not the Sasquatch. Every track in the ground, or every dent in the ground, or every bent over tree, I know the difference between snow load breaks. I know the difference between tree rot.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. I'm sure.
And so whenever I come across the stuff, I'll like a tree. I come across a tree break. I'll spend 15, 20 minutes, closely examining everything around it. Is it a snow load break? Okay, well, it's in the middle of about 16 other trees the same size, and they're not broken. Process of elimination? No, it's not a snow load. Is there any sign of rot, beetle damage, or anything like that on it? No. Okay, well, then what else could it be?
So, Kevin.
Yes.
Kevin, I know you've seen things before. Do you know what the hitchhiker syndrome is?
Probably, but enlighten me.
Okay, it's so where you see something and then all of a sudden, like when you go home, something other strange phenomena happens at your house.
Okay, yeah.
More of an attachment.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's happened.
To you?
Yeah.
Wow. What happened, man?
Which time? I'll tell you the very first time I realized the alpha that lived where Squatch Camp is. I called him Indy. I was at home. Well, I'll back up. I was my wife and I went and got our youngest daughter, picked her up and went out to the Renaissance Festival here in Arizona. And it just happened to be a really busy day, and my knee was hurting really bad, and my PTSD was skyrocketing. I'm bumping into people because I'm blind in my right eye. And I'm getting to that point where I'm like, I can't find anywhere to sit down. And I finally tell my wife, I said, look, I'm fucking done. We're leaving. And, so we took our daughter home. We went home and I immediately went to smoke some pot. I still wasn't calming down. I was just,
Did you at least get a turkey leg? I mean, you can't go there without getting a turkey leg.
I will neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah.
But
I'm pissed, damn it.
So I
finally need a place to sit down.
But so I finally told my wife, I said, look, I fucking had it. I'm done. I'm going to bed. And, and this is about 7:30 at night. Was not late at all. And I was laying in there. I kind of sleep half on my side, half on my stomach. But I was laying in there saying my prayers, which I do every night before I go to bed. And I felt the most loving, gentle touch on my head, on the back of my head, and on my shoulder. I rolled over fully expecting to see my wife there trying to comfort me down. And I roll over and look, and all I see is this distortion. And I went, is that you, Indy? Yes, and you need to go to bed. And I was out cold. I slept 14 hours, woke up the next morning feeling the best I've felt in a long time.
Damn. So could you describe this distortion?
Okay, when it's, I don't know if you have this where you live, but like here in the desert when it's really hot out and
mirages, yeah.
How the
heat mirage, yeah.
The heat wave kind of does this on the road.
I know you're talking about.
Almost identical to that, but it's in the shape of a person. I hate using the word cloaking. I hate because it
sounds silly. Yeah.
Well, it sounds science fiction, and you say that, and the average person automatically starts thinking about Star Trek and Predator and that. And it's all science fiction, but it's very close to what the Predator looks like. I'm not going to say it's exactly, but it's fairly close. But yeah, that was standing right next to my bed. It was the shape of a person. 8-foot ceilings, and it was kind of hunched over. But
I'm gonna stop you there. And I don't know if I told you. I don't know. I might have mentioned it on here. I don't know, dude. But the night I spent at your house,
yeah,
in your guest bedroom, I was laying on my back, looking at the ceiling fan and the light. You know, all the lights were off, but there was enough light coming in the window or whatever. It was, you know, I could see it. I closed my eyes for a minute and I opened them up. I couldn't see the light anymore. I
What?
was like, yeah, I couldn't see the fan. I couldn't see the light. It's like it got dark in there all of a sudden. I was like, I wonder if he turned off the light. So I had to close my eyes again, open my eyes a little while later, and I could see the damn light and the fan again. And I swear at one point something touched my leg.
Yeah, I bet it did.
I don't know if I've ever said that before.
Well,
But you mentioned in your house, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah. That's the first I'm hearing that too. So
Yeah, it was just weird. I mean, it was like I was laying there, and I can see the light, see the fan, and I closed my eyes for a couple of minutes. I opened them up, and it's like I couldn't see it. I'm like, where was something in between it? Was something dark in the room? It was just weird. I didn't get up. I just opened my eyes, looked, and I was like, oh shit, okay, and closed my eyes again. Oh, Stevie just texted me. She says, you told me about the fan light. Hold on. Yeah, she says, you told me about the fan/light. I knew I told somebody about it.
That
Yeah.
hitchhiker effect is crazy. It really is, because it really happens. It's like you go and experience something, and all of a sudden it's at your house. And it's like, oh, wow. And it affects your family. I mean, have you guys seen Skinwalker Ranch, that show?
yeah,
Sure.
So everybody over there like has hitchhiker effect. So before they even had the show, there was Robert Bigelow owned it, and he's some kind of billionaire from Las Vegas. So he bought it, and he had a team of people like researching it, and most of the people, when they had encounters or anything, or even just were there, their family would get shit like from otherworldly means. It's crazy, man. It's something to really look up.
yeah. I've paid attention to that.
Sorry, I'm just misspelling names in chat.
It's all good, man.
Yeah, but Ben, so when this first one happened, I lived in Apache Junction, Arizona, which is east side of the Phoenix metropolitan area.
It's also where the Renaissance Festival is.
Yeah, and so it's 126 miles from my driveway to Squatch Camp.
All right.
Where I live now, I have stuff happening here all the time, but Russ will tell you, I literally live in the middle of the forest. It's just a small little community right on the edge of the Mogollon Rim, and we're literally
Payson?
we're north of Payson.
Okay.
Yeah,
Tiny little town.
Yep.
You blink, you miss it.
Yeah.
But it's so pretty up there, dude. I mean, it's just,
man, I know.
It's so gorgeous.
It is beautiful, bro. There's not too many things that are more beautiful than that.
Well, I mean, I've been in the Rocky Mountains when I was a kid, like at 10. I remember that, but
Yeah.
That like this state and like the Grand Canyon stands out, for me as far as beauty goes.
Yeah.
What's even cooler is being on the Colorado River. That's a whole different perspective. Bell says, Mogs, please ask Kevin if he ever asked his sister where in the Church Chronicles is Joseph Smith Jr.'s encounter. Not Joseph Fielding Smith's encounter. I've read that several times.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. As I'm trying to remember. I did talk to my sister about it, and she looked at me like deer in the headlights. And I may, it's possible I have it wrong of it being Joseph Smith, but it was one of them back in the beginning of the church that while they were on horseback, one was going through the trees with them. But
Really, I didn't know that.
yeah.
Sorry, just rearranging things.
Yeah, I don't. It might have been Hiram, but I don't recall. But yeah, it was one of those first way back at the beginning of the Mormon Church.
So, are you a Mormon?
I was born and raised, and I have absolutely nothing to do with it.
Okay. Well,
Yep.
no, I mean,
Yep.
When
Yeah,
did you walk away? When did you walk away from it?
Well, I walked away from it when I was 16 years old because I went in smelling like a cigarette, and everybody was, and I kind of stood up. I kind of stood up and said I thought this was a refuge for sinners, not a house for saints, and I never went back. But I kept the claim, to that faith until I actually sat down and read the Bible, and I was like, a bit, I'm not gonna talk down about the religion or anything. It was just my own personal experience with it, and half of my family is still active in the church, and I'm happy for them. As I went a different route.
Hey, man. Hey.
My ex-wife was, she was a Jack Mormon. What was that, a curse word? Anyway, yeah, her parents are more, they practice, and he's a deacon, but she's like, doesn't do anything with the church. She's not involved. So I really didn't learn that much about the religion or belief system or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, you got to be like really in there to learn about that belief system.
Yeah, I didn't get really involved.
Yeah. I had a Mormon girlfriend all the way down here in Louisiana. I had a Mormon girlfriend. So I went to church with her, and I found out that they think that when they die, they're going to be like kings of a different planet and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in their word it says, "Man is now as God once was, and man may become as God is now." And if you're good enough at your religion, and you do everything that you're supposed to do, then you reach the highest level of heaven, and you get the greatest mansions, and then you get your own planet, and then you repopulate that planet with your spirit children that you and your wife have, and it's I believe otherwise. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I understand. I don't really have any religious beliefs. So that's what it is, man.
Yep.
Well, I mean, it's not like you don't have any religious beliefs. I mean, with the experience you had not too long ago.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
And that was divine intervention or whatever you want to call it, a revelation.
It was a while back, bro. That's 30 years ago.
With your girlfriend?
Huh?
Recently?
Me? No,
Yeah.
bro. I've been married 18 years. I don't have a girlfriend. No. It was one of our partners, bro, in the 1990s that got possessed because him and my brother were playing the Ouija board. Yeah, and that was pretty fucking scary. So, okay, I understand that there is, I believe there are such things as demons or entities that can take over somebody's body because I've seen it happen. So there's got to be an opposite, right? But I still don't know what to believe because I think that religion is all made up by man to subjugate other people. That's what I think.
Organized religions, absolutely.
Was invented to control the masses.
Exactly. That's my thoughts.
Rule through fear. Put it out there that,
Exactly.
hey, you follow these rules, and they're not terrible rules, but, do this or you're going to hell.
Yeah, you're right. But
You
dude,
know,
I wouldn't even believe in it unless I saw it with my own two eyes. I saw this dude turn completely different, and it was crazy. It was really crazy. I'll never forget it. Never, never. He wasn't the smartest dude, uh, but when we found out that his personality was a little bit different, bro, we went around the pond that my dad has, and that's about 100 yards, and we were whispering, bro. We were whispering to each other, and everything we would whisper to each other, he would say, "No, that's not true." And say, "No, exactly what we said is not true."
Jeff, I just muted you because we're getting an echo from you.
You still getting it?
Check.
You
What's
still
up, Jeff?
getting it?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'll pop on my PC instead of this.
Well, just saying. It's
Yeah,
noticeable.
I'm outside on the deck, so if there's an echo, I won't be able to fix it unless I pop on my other device.
Is it a deco?
It's a bunch of cicadas behind me, probably.
Yeah,
Is it
bro.
still bad? Is it still bad?
Well, we can hear it.
Oh, I'll pop on my PC. I'll see you in a little bit.
I got to step away for just a minute. I'll be back.
All right. Put you backstage.
What's up, Mogs?
That's something I'd say, dude. Because you said it, and I went, damn, I never even thought of that one.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's something I would say. Jeff got a deco.
I'm just reading something in chat. Yeah, normally we don't get into any religious stuff, but
Man,
we're not preaching. We're not,
no. I saw something, but you would think that it would make me. I mean, there is an opposite. There's, if there's this, then there's that. You know what I mean? And I just don't have faith because I think that mankind has taken religion into its hands and made rules to try to rule other people. Really.
Well, yeah. That's why I don't buy into the dogma of all the organized religions. I was raised Protestant, but I can't say I've ever read the Bible all the way through.
Yeah.
But I do have a relationship with God, and I have my beliefs, and I don't force anything on anybody else. It's when you say what's it all about, it's all about love, but some people don't want to hear that.
No, you're right. I hear you.
Mr. Lee says, Christy, are you coming on? Oh, no. Stevie, what's up?
Hey, Stevie.
But yeah, I'm comfortable with myself. I mean, I'm as far as my religion, my faith goes, not religion,
Yeah,
my spirituality, whatever you want to call it,
absolutely.
and it gets stronger every day.
Yep. And dude, whatever
And yeah,
you believe,
but then there's days where, or weeks or months where I'm not. Maybe I don't talk to God as much as I should,
yeah,
But there are times when I do, and it's not because I need something. I don't pray for myself. Well, that's not true. Recently, I said, "Lord, give me strength," and I prayed for that. Give me
yeah,
guidance.
yeah. But
Um,
whatever you ask for, bro, to whoever you ask for, ask it from. I can't judge you because I can only support you. You know what I mean?
sure. I don't know. I'm content with where I'm at in my spiritual beliefs and everything. I'm comfortable. I don't everybody has that question. Was I good enough person?
Exactly. Yeah,
In my life, and I've always strived to be a good person.
yeah.
Um,
You're a good dude, bro.
thanks, man. Uh, let me get Kevin back up here.
Oh, there I am.
So yeah, like I said, I'm comfortable where I'm at with who I am. I have I have things I have to work on, but who doesn't?
You call out bullshit, where you got to. I saw the
Exactly, Judy.
spiritual, not religious. Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I don't. I'll stand up when I have to, dude.
Yeah.
Some will say, "Yeah, you didn't have to." Most said, "I did," and thank you for doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, bro,
So
you did a good
I'll
thing
leave it
the
at
other
that.
day. You did a good thing the other day, bro.
Wasn't
I,
trying to start anything, just
I
getting my
know it.
point across.
I know damn well. I know. And I was at work, so I was listening to it at work, and then I got called to go do some shit, and I heard you say, "I won't even publish this." I was like, "Motherfucker!" Yeah, really. But
My eyes to smokes. I think your spirituality is right on if it's based on positivity. You can't go wrong with love and gratitude. Exactly.
absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you, my eyes.
Yeah, yeah, man. But thank you for publishing that. I just wanted to know because I feel I'm a part of y'all community.
Sure, it's a funny word, community. It's I don't know.
I'm a part of y'all family.
There
Fuck
you go.
community. Yeah,
No, I mean just friends and family, and
you're right.
it's just a. I guess you could say community, but it's just a
Yeah, I
weird word.
guess. Yeah,
Um, yeah, but this amazing group of people that we hang out with every week, multiple nights a week. I mean, I spend more time with the people in chat and you guys than my own family. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
that's not a bad thing. It's not. I'm saying about not seeing my family. No, I see my family, but I don't talk to them like I talk to you guys. I don't. Uh,
Now my family's number one, so
well, my family's here. I'm staying with my sister right now. I have some things to do, and I plan to hit the road in the near
yep.
future.
Where you
Not so,
going, bro?
not sure. I'm gonna hook up to the trailer and just start driving.
Coming to Louisiana, bro. We go fishing.
I'll probably go that way. I'll probably stop there again. I'm in no hurry to get anywhere,
I hear
so
you.
there's no deadline.
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin left. I didn't do that. Um, yeah, I don't know when. I have things I have to square away here. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna hit the road and head east. Probably head back to Florida. But I could do it in 3 days if I went in a straight line, or it could take my time and look like a damn, a heart monitor where it just goes,
Yeah, yeah, I got you. I got
because,
you.
if I'm in no hurry,
Yeah,
might
man. If you going to Florida, you gotta stop by. Do some fishing, man.
yeah, man, I'm down. I want to, I'm dying to go fishing. I haven't really done any here recently. The river's been too muddy. Um, and I've just been busy as hell taking care of things around here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know when. There's things I want to see out here first, or if maybe I don't know.
I hear you, man. I hear you.
I don't. It's like I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
But
I hear that.
come on up, Mogs. We'll entertain you. That's a
Yeah.
possibility. It's definitely a possibility. I might just take a little time and go that direction. I've never been up to the Pacific Northwest,
Hmm.
but I want to see that. I want to see Montana and Wyoming, and just that I want to experience that. I've been to Colorado, I've been to New Mexico, but been to California, but only like Malibu area or that general area.
Yeah. I would love to see Montana, man.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, like what's cool is I know I can go from coast to coast, and like on the way back, like I did with Gary, I met with Gary Spike Sr. and we camped out a night. I met with Claude Knoll and we camped out a night. There's people, every night I could probably camp out or hang out with somebody different.
Yeah, you could.
It's like pick a state. Okay, where do you live in that state? Okay, that's where we're going. you know? uh, we'll see. Sorry, guys. My foot's been acting up. My ankle and my heel and my Achilles tendon, and it just started happening a couple days ago. It really started hurting, and yesterday, like I could barely walk on it. But this had happened, like the same pain, the same thing happened. Like I went through it like 10 years ago, and it lasted for months, dude.
Is it
So
gout?
no. So I thought about it the other night, Saturday, when I was moving some stuff around. Twice in about 15 minutes in the pitch black, I hit my shin on my trailer hitch hard, like, and right in the same spot. So it occurred to me last night that I was wondering if it was connected, like why was that the reason? So, because in the past I had a back issue, and I traced it all the way to my thigh. There was a knot in my thigh that was friggin' screwing up my back up. And I worked that knot out, and it fixed the back. So now I figured, okay, this is where the damage was in my shin. And I got that massager out, and I started working the calf on that side and up and down. And I was hitting some painful stuff. And this morning, I could walk on it. So I'm going to keep doing like the muscle above, and it seems like it's working. So it's just weird, I went to when my back was bothering me, I went to an emergency room, I went to a chiropractor, I went to a masseuse. And none of them helped. And then I bought that massager, and I found a spot in my thigh, that had a knot, and sure enough, that knot was the cause of all my problems in my back. Weird shit.
Hey, buddy. I'm going to talk to my wife. It seems like she's pissed off about something.
No worries.
I might be back.
All right. Well, you know where to find us.
All right, man. Later.
All right. Peace. Well, let me just... I don't know where Kevin went. I don't know why he bounced. It's all right. Guys, the link is in chat. Anybody wants to use it, push that button. Come on, hang out, say hi. If you've never done it before, just follow the directions and just make sure that you do turn off YouTube in the other window. So all you're on, only thing you have playing is StreamYard, because it gives a nasty echo. And there he is. Oh, that's who left. Jeff Bounce. What's up, dude?
You know,
Talk. I want to hear, because it just sounded a little gravelly. I want to make sure.
does it sound normal now?
Now it sounds good. Very good.
Yeah. Well, it should. I'm using my. I think when I was outside, I was on my iPad, and there was a lot of ambient noise. There's a ton of cicadas going, and busy night in nature out there. It sounds like.
Well, so what else is going on? What's going on with the channel that you're involved in, like the umbrella thing?
Yeah, so it's it's the Untold Radio Network.
Untold?
Untold Radio. You can go to untoldradio.com. Doug's got a website for it, but he's always done a radio show every Wednesday night that was on all the podcast platforms, but it was simulcasted on 60 different stations around the country, And so he had a lot of people following him on the radio, but the Untold YouTube channel, they never really did anything with it. They started it, obviously, put the logo on it, but when you're on the radio or you're talking to people driving around, truckers driving at night, things like that, and you say, hey, go like our YouTube channel. Nobody's writing down the YouTube /OUAWE4Q, So, they just never really grew the YouTube channel from the radio part of it. But, they decided, I'd been talking to Doug for about 3 or 4 months about an idea of doing something that is, my channel, I have, just over 500 subs. If I went at this for 2 years and grew it to 3,000 or 4,000 subs, it's still, even if it was monetized, it's not going to produce income. And no. I don't do it for the money, obviously. I mean, but the same thing with Doug's show, and the same thing with, most of these shows. There's so many great channels that have good personalities, good guests. They run a good show, and yet they only got 1,000 subs or whatever. And then you see these ones that got 1,600, 50,000 subs, and you're thinking, man, those are like 3-ring circuses. I mean, it's just crazy. So I said, what if you had a channel that did like a different show 7 nights a week? And, they can't all be the same, right? I mean, it can't be like tomorrow night's a different host, but the same format, the same subject, the same kind of guest. There's got to be differences, right?
Well, yeah, there's a few people doing that now, Texas Front Porch has a few people under him.
Yeah. And so what I was thinking is if you brought these 7 channels, so to speak, into one channel, but had the shows stay the same. Like, we're still going to be Pine Island Research on Monday night. We're on the Untold Radio YouTube channel that we'll broadcast from. But the logo is still Pine Island Research, and that's what the show's called. The next night it might be Dr. Russ Jones doing his show. And out of the 7 nights, there's
same thing as Spaced Out Radio.
Yeah, there's a ufologist that will be on. There's some paranormal type stuff a couple nights, but it's seven different shows over 7 nights basically, and it may grow bigger than that, but right now that's what it is. And collectively, if you were going to launch something like that, to do it off of Doug's springboard of being the Monster Quest guy, I mean, he's probably got the ability to do it. So Untold Radio was going to do all the promotion. They're going to set up a merch store so that all the different shows have all in one spot. You could buy a Pine Island Research shirt or whatever. And don't get me wrong, it's still not for the money. I mean, it's not 7 different hosts over a week. Even if you got to 50,000 subs, it wouldn't be more than a couple $100 a month. I mean, it's never going to pay the bills. You know?
No, I've realized that, and you know, and like I was never in for it, but after 2 years of doing this, you know, and being monetized for a good year of it, over a year of it, in that time from YouTube, all I made is like $220.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
doesn't cover. You know,
the important thing to me was that it wasn't a. You know, I got to be careful how I say this because I didn't want it to be like a spaced out radio. I didn't want it to be to where if you're going to have 7 shows, I really want it to be 7 shows that focus on
different things.
Not the circus Hollywood-esque part of this community, not the shock value, you know. Something that people
I know
can
exactly
learn something from. They can share on it. They can sponge up info. They can put out info. I want it to be interactive. And I just, you know, I don't want it to be, I saw a Dogman riding a unicycle juggling orbs down my street last night, you know.
Farting out lightning.
Yeah, you know, so, and not that you're going to, you know, you're always going to flirt with the fringe of that no matter what happens. But it was important to me that it wasn't a circus, right? And so when he started saying, hey, look, we're going to get Dr. Russ Jones, we're going to get Dean Bertram, we're going to get Jason McLean, we're going to get, you know, Brian King Sharp with Sasquatch.
And Jason's also staying with Tex too, right?
Mm-hmm. Jason's going to be co-hosting a show with Dean Bertram, I believe it is. And then Dean's also going to have his own show on a different night. But the show they do together is simply stories about the whole paranormal. So that's probably the one show that kind of branches beyond Sasquatch or beyond cryptids, you know. And you'll see a little bit of anything there. Kind of the same thing with Doug's show. I mean, Doug's show, one night he might have Dr. Jeff Meldrum on. The next night he has the guy who traveled around with the Rolling Stones for 3 decades, photographing them snorting coke in a hotel room. You know, I mean,
he's probably in chat too.
Yeah. So, I mean, his show, you never really know what you're going to get. That's kind of fun, you know. Most of these hosts, I shouldn't say most of them, at least 3 of them have like doctor before their name. And I told Doug, this is bullshit. I'm not a doctor. He says, well, you're kind of the wild child of the group, you know. I want there to be a loose cannon. And I said, oh, well, there you go. That's me. There's one guy from Australia that's got a pretty popular YouTube channel down there that covers cryptid stories and research from Africa. I don't know his name. To be honest, I feel bad because I probably haven't wrote down. Actually,
good thoughts. How are you?
His name is, let's see.
What's up, Gary? Killed by Bigfoot. What's up, man? Good to see you.
So it's Dr. Russ Jones has Wide Open Outdoors will be a show. Tim Halloran, who is the author of the Bigfoot Influencers, he's got a show. Dr. Dean Bertram has a show called Talking Weird. Down South Anomalies is the guy, and I think his name is Jake Hetz or something like that.
Doesn't say.
But he's from Australia.
I'll have to check that out.
And then the one with Dean Bertram and Jason McLean will be Mysterious Library, which is where they share different stories, you know, different encounters all across the paranormal spectrum. But it'll be fun. I mean, I'm excited because I'd like to take a lot of the people who we consider part of our community here. You, Joe, Nikki, different people in the community. I think it'd be cool to have them come guest on the show, to where we're kind of in front of a different crowd, so to speak, maybe
Sure.
a little bit. I think that would be kind of fun. But
Yeah, I'm always up for new adventures.
yeah, I mean, I'll go on one trip at least. I'm going to keep the Pine Island Research channel open because, name that tune or whatever the hell wild hair we get up our ass on a Saturday night. I'd still like to be able to go do that kind of stuff. It's just the Monday night show will be over there.
What was weird was Sunday. Just that time, I was like, I just fell into time where it was 1 o'clock in the afternoon here and 4 o'clock back east, and there was no one on. And I was like, afterwards, I was like, huh.
When the mood hits you, it's
that's
like,
an interesting slot.
hit that.
I mean, we had a
broadcast.
crowd like we do tonight. We had over 80, watching. But I can't commit to another day right now. I want to do some shows from the road, because if I hit the road, I have to do shows from the road. So I got to look into getting some, like, a good hot spot, or whatever I need. I don't care if I'm sitting in McDonald's parking lot doing a show, as long as I get a signal.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't be the first time I've done shows from crazy spots.
I'm heading out. We're heading out tomorrow morning for 4 days up in the Boundary Waters. I'd love to broadcast from there. I don't think I'm obviously going to be able to, but I'd like to film, do some stuff up there, and that's just the ability to share it. If I didn't have the Pine Island channel open still, where would I do that at, So.
No, that's another place. I mean, I've been to Wisconsin, but I didn't go up to north like Duluth or up that way, anywhere.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that, because I definitely want to hit Wisconsin again just for fishing. That was the best fishing I ever did.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of the same up where we're at too. I mean, there ain't a whole lot difference up in northern Minnesota and Wisconsin.
Yeah. What's up,
hey, Patrick? I haven't seen you in a while. How are you, brother?
Oh, I'm hanging in there.
You all right?
Yeah,
You look troubled. Pain?
What is it?
You're in pain?
I've been in pain 25 weeks.
Oh, geez. I'm sorry, man. Prayers.
I see the surgeon tomorrow. So, but anyway, I'm just enjoying a vacation from work.
Why not?
Yeah. So
limited mobility and, just it can't work. It's like, you got the time off, but it's not like you're fishing,
Oh no, if I lean forward too far, my shoulder falls out of socket.
Oh, geez.
And it's not
that's
pleasant.
what bungee cords are for.
Yeah, I have to sleep with I wrap a blanket around me and tuck under my shoulder to hold it in socket so I can sleep.
Okay. Yeah.
But
wow. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I hope everything goes well with the surgeon and they hook you up.
It screwed my squatching. It really did. I had a lot of plans planned, and it screwed me up. It really has. But I'm hoping that I can get back out there next spring, maybe.
You look like you lost about 50 pounds since I saw you last.
Yeah, you did look like you lost weight.
Yeah, pain will make you do that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's an appetite suppressant.
I had two vertebrae or two discs replaced in my neck one time, and that surgery they do an incision and pull your throat over and do it through the front, and they put what's called PEEK implants in there and fuse it together. And the pain meds you had to take were like for 6 months, and every 2 or 3 weeks they'd change it from back then from Darvocet to Percocet to Oxy to wherever. because you just get tolerant to it. And even though you're sitting there eating and you're not active at all, you lose like 30, you'll lose 10, 15 pounds a month just from taking pain meds. It's
Sure.
crazy.
Well,
But
I haven't had any pain meds.
Stevie, I think it's a little past K-tape, kinetic tape. It's it won't his shoulder won't stay in his socket. So
Yeah, and it's all been without, I can't take opioids. It's just, they make me sick as a dog. So this has been ibuprofen and Aleve.
that's funny because I took that combination last night for my foot because I found Aleve. That was the only thing I could find. I've never had much luck with Aleve. I took like 3 of them, and then I found the ibuprofen. I took 2 of those, and it seemed to work. It got rid of the pain. But I went through a time where, actually, it was 10 years ago when my foot was bothering me the last time. It lasted for months, and I was taking so much Tylenol or ibuprofen, whichever one. It started to mess with my kidneys, and I had to stop.
Yeah.
the thing about Aleve is because they're designed to release over 12 hours rather than 3 or 4 hours, they make them hard as a rock. I mean, if I take 2 Aleve, I put them in my mouth and crunch them and chew them up, they'll work for me. But if I swallow 1 or 2 Aleve, I don't know that I ever feel any relief. It's like they just don't dissolve very well,
Oh no, maybe crushing them. I think that might be a good idea.
Maybe I should just chop them up and snort them.
Snort them, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I do not condone or
We're not giving medical. Make sure YouTube
Nope.
knows we're not giving medical advice here.
Nope.
yeah, it's just well, I mean, I'm pretty, I'm a pretty tough person, and I can take a lot of pain just because I can't take pain medications, and your body will make its own, medication and tone it down a lot. And I went into that surgeon's office last time a little pissed off. I said, I'm not just real enthused and satisfied with what you're doing with these 12 weeks of physical therapy. He goes, oh, don't worry, I can cut you apart and fix you. Well, that kind of took some of the starch out of my collar. Someone says they're going to cut you apart, you're just like, okay, don't piss him off.
Yeah, no, you don't want to. It's like you don't piss off surgeons and you don't piss off the cook.
What really sucks is when a surgeon knows or a doctor knows that he can fix you, but because insurance won't cover that until you've done this, this, and this.
Exactly.
Like I went in with when I had that problem, when those discs were crushed. I mean, I had pain shooting down my arm so bad I couldn't lift my arm up. I couldn't lay down. And he's like, well, every 2 weeks we're going to do cortisone injections in your spine for a month and a half. And then if that doesn't work, we'll do this. And I said, well, okay. I said, do you think they'll work? He says, I know they won't. But your insurance company isn't going to pay for $60,000, $120,000 worth of neurosurgery until you've showed them that you've tried it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, this is bullshit. The doctor should just be able to say, this is what we need to do and do it. But they just can't. A lot of times their hands are tied.
Well, I'm in a pretty key position. And so, I got put off for 3 weeks and then got called back in. They rearranged a whole other position for me to go in and just oversee everything and just point my finger and tell people what to do. But then that lasted for about a month and a half, and that's it. I can't, my shoulder won't withstand the weight of my arm. It keeps falling out. So I'm like, I called the surgeon. He says, well, I'm going to put you off, which sucks. So and yeah, I know, they have to go through certain steps for insurance, but all they're doing is causing me more pain and more downtime for the position I feel and the responsibilities I have.
Sure.
Do you since you have a high, I kind of felt like I have a high pain tolerance too, but have you ever like woken up during a surgery or anything like that? I know people who have a high pain tolerance, a lot of times that will do that. And I woke up during a surgery one time, my eyes just popped open and I looked at the doctor and I asked him, where I was having the surgery, the local paper was called the Argus Leader. And I said, do you guys get the Argus Leader here? I mean, I don't even read the damn paper. I don't know why I would have asked that.
You heard
and it freaked the doctor out. Like, whoa, you know.
Oh yeah.
And the anesthesiologist right away cranks it up and knocks me back on. I woke up in the recovery room with a paper laying on my lap, and I looked at the nurse. I'm like, why is this newspaper here? And she said, well, you asked for it during surgery. And I'm like, what? It's just so weird. And then another time during surgery, I dreamt. I mean, I didn't seem like a dream. It felt like I was there the whole time, that I was at a Kings of Leon concert. I could have swore we were in the front row at a Kings of Leon concert.
Wow.
And I woke up and I just happened to share this with the recovery room nurse. And she says, yeah, she says that in the surgery room that they were playing that CD while they were doing surgery on you.
That's awesome.
And just so, I just heard it while I was out and thought I was at the concert, This is really crazy, some of the stuff that happens when they put you under like that.
Yeah, but that'll happen just to a normal person sleeping. If you fall asleep with the TV on or a radio on, it'll
subliminal suggestion.
Yes, absolutely.
That's how you explain what I call last song syndrome. You'll drive to work and there's a song on the radio, and you'll turn your car off and go into work, and for 8 hours you'll hear that song in your head, and you don't even like that song, but it's the last one you heard. And until you hear another one, you can't get that one out of your head.
What about when you wake up with a song?
It's subliminally stuck there.
I wake up with a random song on my head a lot. Different songs, but that's like the song of the day. It's weird.
Yeah. I do that on purpose. I'll find a song I want to listen to for 8 hours, and I'll Google that up and listen to it on YouTube Tunes, and then go in. And that song keeps all the unwanted songs out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I woke up during eye surgery.
Hope you didn't blink.
Yeah, they don't put you down severely bad in eye surgery, so I think that's fairly common.
They had this medieval thing that they put on your eye, and they winch it open, and they got a nurse just sitting there squirting it. And then during surgery, I was supposed to be out, but then I came to, and I saw the needle in my eye, the tweezer, and he pulled my lens out, and I said, "Lights are out." And I heard, "Oh shit!" and then I was done. I was out. I didn't wake up till recovery room, but but I mean, I walked on a broke foot for 6 weeks till it healed. I have a pretty high pain tolerance, but this, I'm gonna tell you what, this is an injury I don't wish on nobody. It's terrible. It's terrible. But
yeah, we're a community of the walking wounded.
Stevie says that last song in my head happened a couple of days ago.
I don't know. I don't know if this hasn't. I don't know if this comment hasn't been seen, but I have voted you to go back to the encounter site and spend the night there and see what's there.
Do I have to wear the honey bun on my head? I saw the comment.
That's optional. That's optional.
I meant to comment back, and it's funny because I was going to comment back only if you come and put the honey bun on my head.
Yeah.
No, I'll go up there.
I think it'd be cool for you to
week up there. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
hope they chase you and throw a log, right?
I hope they catch me.
I still don't know what it was, and I'm not the type of person to pry into someone's story, but it sounds like they, in the dark, it's hard to identify things, especially when it doesn't show up in light. It shows up more in the dark. In the starlight, you'll see the darkest shadow out there. And sometimes you might see some eye glow. That's what I've most commonly seen in the dark with no light. It's easier to see them without a light. If I shine a light on one and couldn't see the damn thing except for the eyes. But with the light down, you actually see the darkness. And so I'm trying to understand their description of what they were saying, trying to discern out what it was. Was it actual paranormal?
I don't know. You know, I went through some of their pictures and going with what they said they described and kind of scanned through them, just, you know, looking for stuff that, and I found the one thing in there that I thought, well, if this is, I'm a skeptic, dude. So it's going to take a lot in a picture for something to show up that I'm going to be like, oh shit. And when I saw that, I was like, oh shit, you know, but you know, I know they saw something out there. You know, when I got to them that morning, they were shooken up. You know, they were wore out. But I'll get out there. They're doing. You know, everybody's doing good. You know, everybody's they wasn't that traumatic as far as they say, unless you know. But yeah, probably in about. I got a side job I have to finish up first, and then I'm free, and I want to go take. I want to go up there and probably maybe take a week. Go up there for a week. Oh, we lost him. Oops. Oh, there he is. Try again. Figured he'd be back. So
I think I'm on my phone and it sucks. My laptop crap itself.
Still a little.
Can you hear
I
me?
think you froze. Yeah, you're broken up. You're choppy. Try it anyway.
Well, y'all be good. Y'all be good.
Now we hear you.
I'll back out. Well, now you hear me?
Yeah, that's what I said. Just
Yeah,
keep talking. It'll. Go ahead.
I just think it'd be interesting if someone went up there to the tracks, put the signs, you know, go to that area, right where they're at, you know, look at the topography, you know.
Yeah, I've looked at a lot of it on Google Earth, but I don't think Google Earth is a really accurate depiction, you know, as far as topography like goes. It'll show you, you know, it looks good on a map, and then they try to do that 3D or 2D or whatever it is, but I don't think it's that accurate with the topography.
Well, they had, you know, they got the droughts going on out there, so I'm wondering how that affects different
I'm about to get
beings out
yelled
there.
at. I'm about to get yelled at for going out there by myself. Watch. What's up, Stevie?
Yeah, you're not going out there by yourself. You knew that was coming. Hi.
Hello.
Hello. I wouldn't do that. I'm bringing my dog.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I'll bring the other one.
Stevie wants to go out there so bad.
I wanted to go out the next day. The next morning, I wasn't allowed. Nobody take me.
I would.
I didn't do that. I swear I didn't do that.
Uh-oh. Wrong button, Stevie.
She's like, nobody would take me. Gone. Stevie, we didn't do that. That's on your end.
Yeah.
No, she wants to go back out there. And she's like, you're not going out there without me. Go ahead.
I'd have totally just I'd have totally just walked out there to them within about 20 yards and see what I could get out of it. I'm not going to say I wouldn't be terrified. I would be. I just take that side of me and I put it in a box and I ignore it. You know, I'm just doing a job. But
yeah, Jay did walk out there, but he didn't see anything. Jay didn't see anything when he walked up to the trees. I mean, he stayed on the road. But as far as I know, he didn't see anything from when he walked up.
If he was using a light, they could have been standing in between two trees and they'd never see them. They do not show up in a light, and that's the creepiest thing. That's the creepiest thing I've ever found out, and I haven't. I only have one other account that someone talked about that in, and I actually had a discussion on his channel about it. He said they didn't show up in their headlights, but you could see them in the moonlight. So, if that ain't weird.
That's the wavelength, light wavelength, I guess.
I don't,
Damn.
that's why I do most. That's why I do most of mine in the dark. I don't turn a light on unless I'm tracking in the dark or I'm leaving. Everything else I do in the dark because I can see them in the dark a lot easier.
Yeah, Stevie likes to get out. She'll do like night hiking. She likes to get out there in the dark.
Oh, I like it. I hike.
Well, I don't like it. I just do it because it's what
No, she likes it.
needs to be done.
I like it.
I don't.
I like being out there at night.
I don't.
I've spent so many nights out in the California out here in Florida. I've spent so many nights out there. I like it. You just got to be equipped, you know.
Well, yeah.
pretty
Well,
cool.
before this, it never bothered me. You know, I can do survival. There's no flashlights. You're just walking in starlight, moonlight, out there
Yeah.
at all times of night. You know,
Yeah.
never bothered me. Go. You know, hike a half mile to someone's camp, drink a fifth of liquor, hike back in the dark drunk. You know, I mean, it never bothered me.
Well,
But
No
but
wonder you
No.
got
now
lost.
that I know,
yeah, no, I mean, there's the creepy factor a little bit, especially when you shine your flashlight on the tree line and you start seeing eyes. I remember seeing different color eyes a few times, but that was before I was aware of anything. You know, it's still kind of creepy, but no, I like night hiking. I mean, by the starlight, your eyes adjust. I mean, if you do it enough, your eyes adjust to where you're not seeing shadows. You're just seeing whatever path you're on.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
yeah, the worst part about it is taking. Yeah, I understand. The worst part about it is grabbing a thermal and sticking it to the eye, and then when you pull it down, you can see with this eye. And this one's completely blinded for 5 minutes till it adjusts again. You know,
Yeah,
but
I know what you mean.
so what I did is I got someone with a thermal that will just direct me. Well, I don't have to look at any bright lights. I just can use my natural eyesight at night, and they'll just
Yeah.
guide me. Go to the left, go to the right. You know, you got to contact 150 yards out to the left on the side of this trail. And I remember walking out there, and he's guiding me, and he's not coming with me. He's yelling at me from a distance. And I get all the way there, and I'm not sure what I'm going to expect, a Sasquatch or a deer or what. And I get up there, and it's an armadillo. It scares the shit out of me.
See, Patrick, even after an encounter and even after, you know, doing all the kayaking in the dark and the wood knocks while they're around me and stuff, to me, the most frightening things that happen really aren't Sasquatch related, other than the encounter that I had. I remember sitting in a tree stand an hour before sunup just because I wanted to be there early enough, and not realizing there's an owl above me in the tree. And this thing, just after I'm sitting there dead quiet, completely dark, no lights on, for like 15 minutes, I'm like just trying to stay awake at that point. This thing screams so blood curdling. It's like a heart attack in a can, you know?
I hope you have your safety harness on.
I mean, it's one thing to see
Right.
something and say, I don't know what that is. And, you know, I get that that's frightening, you know, and it's a, maybe even a PTSD type inducing environment to be in. But it's not that whole boom, like scare the crap out of you, like stop your heart type thing, you know?
That
To
just
me,
happened to
those
me at
are
the
the
end of my
worst.
driveway 2 nights ago.
Those
It
are
happened
the
at the end of my driveway. I was in the back of my truck grabbing stuff out, and it had to have been the neighbor's tree just across the street, down the end of the driveway. Owl just lets out a big noise that scared the shit out of me.
Mhm.
I must have jumped about a mile. I'm glad nobody was out there because it scared the crap out of me.
No,
And you're right, it's so loud and abrupt and immediate that you can't help it.
The
It'll scare
way
anybody.
I would try to explain it
Oh,
to
yeah.
people who maybe don't spend a lot of time out there in those types of situations is, imagine being in bear country and you walk out on the deck with a bag of garbage, you're going to walk out to the driveway and throw in the garbage can. And from 30 feet away, you're like, oh shit, there's a bear out there. And you walk back in the house versus walking up to the garbage can, lifting the lid up, throwing it in, and you shut it, and there's a bear right there. It's like, what the hell? You know, two totally different situations that really aren't that different from each other, you know?
Your reaction is the
I've
same.
been in both of them.
I have too, but not with a bear, with the raccoon in the trash can
Yeah,
at
but
work.
he was
In
in
the
the
park.
trash can.
It was the raccoon was in the trash can. I go to throw something in it, and it jumps out and just takes off to the left and gone. Oh my God, I had a heart attack. Just
Yeah.
about.
We had bear in the area when I lived in Jersey by Greenwood Lake, and they would get in the garbage all the time.
I hear about it here at Lake Brantley area. They've got in the Wekiva area. They actually had to go, and it was a county ordinance where they had changed all the trash cans, public trash cans, to bear proof because, I mean, there's just so many out there. And they put out a don't walk your dog warning, you know, little dogs at night. Yeah.
Yeah, but they have those out for alligators
They
too
got
down there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, my neighbor.
Mostly we got a panther.
Yeah,
Mostly we got panther here.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I don't know. There's something about being in woods.
I've been rather
Go ahead.
I've been rather close to some big cats.
I'm pretty
And I
sure
walked
I
up
was.
on one.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you were.
I walked up one in the dark with a muzzleloader. I had the muzzleloader, not the cat.
Well, that's
But
good.
one shot.
They have
I
terrible
had
aim.
one
anyway.
shot. Yeah, it's in the dark, you know, and I'm like, do I shoot or do I not shoot? And so I just backed up to a tree and sat there, and it circled me till the sun come up and left. Next time I went out in the woods, I had my pistol with me. I had a 40 caliber percussion muzzleloading pistol with me for a second shot. And I'm walking, and I went to a whole other area. I'm walking down this wood line. I hear this choo, 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 come running through the woods right at me.
Wow.
And as soon as I stepped out, I just pointed and bang. And that poor armadillo took the hit for that panther I thought was coming at me. I was puckered up, you know. I thought that panther was coming back. I dirt napped that armadillo.
He said dirt nap. Oh wow.
I was archery
Go
hunting
ahead,
out in
Jeff.
I was out in the Black Hills of South Dakota archery hunting deer out there, and it was a pretty forested area, and there was some elevation where I was, and I had heard dogs barking for quite a while, and it just occurred to me, you know, it's mountain lion season, and most of these guys hunt them with dogs, you know, and pretty soon after I could hear the dogs getting closer and closer. This mountain lion came, it was probably 50 yards down. I was on the edge of a tree line where there was a old fire trail. This mountain lion runs up a tree that's like 6 trees down from me, and it's in the tree, and the dogs are at the base of it barking. And then within 5 minutes, these guys show up with their remote collar trackers, you know. And I'm crawling out of my tree going, you know what would had that thing ran up the tree I was in, what's the chances that this thing was even that close where it ended up treeing, you know? But you'd start realizing all these different scenarios that could happen.
Unite Highcare in Florida, and one of the main things that you've got to be aware of is that it gets so hot during the day. At night, as soon as it's dark, snakes will come out to the middle of the path and they'll coil themselves up, and it looks like, you know, a twig or a branch, or, you know what I mean, but they're dead center because that's the coolest spot on the path at night. They come out to cool off. So you definitely got to watch your footing, and if you don't have a flashlight or anything, you kind of get used to looking out for them. But I don't have to worry about them now.
Really? While I'm drinking, you gotta crack jokes.
That's why I was laughing. I knew you were muted, but I saw
Oh
you.
shit!
One less thing to worry about, huh?
I remember being in a lodge in Wyoming, and we were out there elk hunting, and in the lodge they had a photo book, and in the photo on the back deck of this lodge, it was really a nice place. They had a hot tub, and it was late season elk hunting. We had some snow on the ground, and I'm looking through this photo album, and here's a photo of the hot tub with like 4 inches of snow on the railings of the deck and everything. But the cover on the hot tub doesn't get snow because that hot tub is so warm. There's a mountain lion laying on it.
Oh wow!
And they say that's common, for like these lions will come up on people's decks and lay on the top of a hot tub on the cover because it's warm if there's snow on the ground. And once I saw that picture, I'm like, I'm not getting in the damn hot tub. I mean, like we'd go hunt all day long, be sore as shit, and everybody's like, "Hey, we're gonna get in the hot tub." I'm like, I'm not getting in that hot tub.
Well, they don't taste bad.
Yeah.
All right.
But
I just saw a bot pop up. I tried blocking it, but it says an error occurred because I'm trying this from the StreamYard end.
I can't see it while I'm on StreamYard.
So Mr. Lee or one of the mods, if you just want to block that just so it doesn't come back. I can't get rid of what's there, but
Mr. Lee's more apt to click on it than block
I'm
it.
bored.
Oh,
do what's
Right.
wrong when you just block it first.
How bored is that? Sit down and think
He's breaking up.
you're cutting
must,
up,
must
Patrick.
get bored.
Yeah, you're
It
cutting
must
up.
get
Patrick.
real boring in his mom's basement.
Oh, yeah.
Very done.
No, he just bought his own basement.
Yeah.
We lost Patrick. Patrick backed
Move-
out. I know.
Moved his mother upstairs. Sorry.
Patrick, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
It was
It's
nice
always a
seeing you
pleasure.
again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
So,
Maybe he'll come
Mr.
back
Lee,
on.
the hidden gem in bear to me is by far the bear. So bear fat is some good stuff, huh? Timmy Boy says, I'm not in my mama's basement. Thank you. I didn't think we were talking about Timmy Boy.
He's just eliminating himself as a suspect.
Right?
How do they know?
Yeah, right. Who told?
They see me in this thing?
Oh, that's-
Jamie says, I find bear meat too greasy. I've never had it.
I've never had it.
I always heard it was really gamey.
The best way in my mind to make it is
Roast.
really the simplest. Put it in a crock pot with a French onion soup, and it'll be just like pulled
Pot
beef,
roast. Yeah.
And if
What's
if you're worried about the gamey flavor, one thing you can do is get a jar of those pepperoncinis or whatever, the pickled
Pepperoncinis?
pepper,
Yeah.
pepperoncinis.
Yeah.
Pour those in there, and shred up the roast so it's like shredded beef, and it has kind of an Italian dressing type flavor to it. Then
Sure, and just
you
make
don't
sandwiches.
notice any gaminess.
What
to
is
it.
the texture of it, though? I mean,
It's just
what is-
like long, like if you were to, depending on the type of beef roast, if
Stringy.
you were to shred it up, it's kind of stringy, yeah. But so the trick is a lot of moisture, low heat, a long time, get it really up to high temp, and at the end, and so that everything separates and strings and falls apart. I mean, if you can't just stick a fork in it and make it fall apart,
Right.
I don't want to eat it. But
that's how I cook my
I'm-
Christmas roast.
Well, and
Crock-pot.
elk roasts are the same
Yeah.
way.
Well,
I mean, I'll take
half-
an elk
half of it.
roast and make it in a crock pot with French onion soup and like au jus sauce, you know,
Yeah.
and make French dips out of it. And anybody who eats it will not, they'll think this is the best beef
Mhm.
French dip they've ever had. They don't even realize it.
So you just use the same recipe for all the meats.
Well, for those two things, yeah. I just assume cook something over fire and grill it, you know.
If you're going to do that with a crock pot, you got to cut up some onion and some carrots and add some potatoes and, do it right. Yeah.
The Trinity.
But yeah, I think Patrick made the comment when we were talking about mountain lions that they're good eating. It's funny because if you watch that show, Meat Eater with Steve Ranella, he's a huge hunter, great hunter. But
My dad loved that show.
He's also a world-class chef, and you can get on Netflix and find it. I think it's on, all of his stuff's on there now. But one of the best things he says he's ever made was mountain lion meat. You know, a lot of people are like, I don't know about that. He goes through the whole he's breaking it down like the back hip and the meat and how to cook it and all this. And then he's with 2 or 3 other hunters and they're trying it and they're like, this is the best thing I've ever eaten. And I'm just thinking to myself, I can't get there in my mind. Like a lot of those shows you watch it, you think, I would love to have a bite of that. I'm still watching these guys going, I don't know if I'd eat that, you know. But
So I used to watch that with my uncle when I was growing up. I'd get to go to my aunt and uncle's for 2 weeks each summer, and my uncle was a butcher, but he would have, hunter during deer season. Everybody's cats would come and they'd bring it and he'd butcher it, and I'd sneak in the garage and he had this whole big shop set up, and he taught me all about it. And it's funny because I don't like venison. I mean, I've had it the best ways possible, but I'm just not crazy about it. But I was there watching.
I love venison.
He would teach me the sections and all that. I thought it was pretty cool just to see the process because he didn't waste anything. Nothing.
I think with venison, it's not so much the method of cooking as much as it is the seasoning. To be honest with you, I mean, I've had some venison steaks, I've had venison chops, I've had venison roast. The times that I really liked it and the times I didn't like it, a lot of it was just the seasonings that they flavored it with. I mean, I think really can make a lot of difference.
I think in venison, when it comes to venison, the only thing that I did like was we used to take it and make strips and just throw it in the army. And when I was in the army, we'd throw them in the big ovens and make jerky.
Yeah, so I have a smoker and I shoot 3 deer a year, and 2 of them, other than the loins, I turn the whole thing into jerky, into whole muscle jerky,
Yep. Yeah.
It's a lot of jerky.
Oh, we'd make it for basically our whole section and the unit, our whole unit. We'd put them in the big, huge pans and had the giant ovens and just leave it in there all day.
When I was 18, I was friends with this guy. His father owned a bait and tackle store, and they were huge hunters. And just the whole community out there was just all hunters. And we'd sit in his garage or hang out. They had this whole assembly line for butchering deer.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd have a hot plate, going with just butter, salt, and pepper. And somebody'd slice off some meat, just throw it in the pan. And to me, that was amazing. Even though it was that fresh, it hadn't.
Well, that was my uncle. He'd butcher and throw some slices over to my aunt, and she'd carry right in the kitchen. She was hooking it up.
I'm just a big fan of venison. I'd take venison probably over beef.
Yeah. I've got about 8 different guys that guide and hunt themselves, and we have one shop together that we put the stainless steel tables in, the sinks,
and saws, the pan saws.
Yeah. And so the deal is when whoever has a deer, like if I show up with a deer and I say, hey guys, it's Monday night, tomorrow night at 8:00, I'm going to be at the shop. Who can come? I show up with a couple of cases of beer. So I bring all the beer, and then they all come, and literally in about 35, 40 minutes, we'll have the hide off, the quarters broken down, the loins taken out, and then those quarters broken down into roast or jerky meat or whatever, stew meat, chops. and we'll get it all done. And the whole time we'll have a grill going, and we always take the tenderloins and grill them right there and eat them right there.
That's
And-
cool. This way everybody gets some.
Oh man, it's like I show up with a deer and in 35 minutes. It's not. You'll be watching a football game on a Monday night, and somebody will call you up and say, "Hey, we got a deer. We got to just go over there for 45 minutes, and you're done when you got that many hands doing it."
Sure.
But
And that's from.
and
And
that's
that's
pretty
from.
slick because they have a come along with the power winch on it. So you back your truck in, you put the spreader bar into the the knee plates of the back legs of the deer.
Sure.
Hook the come along, hit the button, zzz, it lifts it up, and you're going to town. I mean, it's just like it's not really work. It's the most work is keeping your knife sharp. I mean,
It's just a
everything else
process.
is easy.
It's a process from start to finish. I've seen
The,
it so
the
many
most
times.
work is probably just caping it.
Well, and there's two of those guys. That's all they do. I mean, they'll sit there at the neck and start, and they've
Yep.
got the caping knives, and they'll just sit there,
Yep.
and that whole thing's undressed in 5 minutes. Where
Yeah.
if that's not your thing, it might
Oh,
take you 30
that's an
minutes to
all-day
get the
thing.
thing.
Too easy to cut. It's too easy to cut through the skin. Back
Yeah.
in patches of fur.
Or cut too thick,
But yeah, I mean, I've done them. But I've never killed a deer.
Me either. Never.
Never killed.
I've never even hunted. I mean, I've never attempted
For the
to hunt.
amount of time that I spent in the woods deer hunting, I've never killed a deer.
Well, come up,
amount
let's
of
kill
time I
one.
spent
Oh, I
anyway.
didn't know. I'm not. It's not a bucket list thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
people.
think the only way I would is if it's for harvest. I definitely just
Oh
wouldn't.
no,
do it
definitely. If
for-
I was in the woods and had
I
to,
would never.
needed to, yeah.
I would
don't.
never.
I
I'd
don't
like to
even
go
rifle
hog
hunt
hunting.
deer anymore.
I want to go hog hunting. Wild boar.
For
I think
me,
that'd be
it's
cool.
all about the just being out there, and I don't rifle hunt elk anymore, and I don't rifle hunt deer. I prefer to archery hunt them because I have to spend on the average between 7 and 20 nights in a deer stand in order to get the one that I want in the right position to be able to harvest it. I can go out in my truck and drive around my family's land out in Pierre, South Dakota on the river.
Oh,
and
if you want to
see
just harvest.
6x6, 6x7 mule deer on every ridge out there, 400 yards away, and in an hour we'll shoot a deer. But to me, there's just no. I mean, to flip the bipod down, lean it on the hood of your truck, and shoot a deer that's a half mile away, that's just not sporting to me,
No.
I tell you what, the mule deer. When we were out there in Arizona, I seen one. I think probably for the first time, and it just puts Florida deer to shame. I'm like, holy shit! It looked like a moose.
Well,
No,
there's
you
the
you
mule
saw
deer.
you saw the elk too.
Yeah, Wow.
What's really neat is prior to the rut,
I could even show my arms.
both whitetail and mule deer, the bucks will get into what they call bachelor groups. Okay, they're pretty social around each other. That 10 to 20 days way before the rut, and so you'll see like 7 or 8 bucks all together. Like they're okay with. They're not really establishing dominance yet. And then when the rut starts, it's like every man for himself, right? Like everybody's
Right.
in it. But during that bachelor group period, especially in South Dakota, you can drive around in the Badlands and stuff, and you'll find the south side of a hill that the sun's shining on. And laying down on the hillside about every square 10 yards, you'll see groups of 10, 15 mule deer with huge racks just laying there looking at you as you drive by. It's just crazy. And then 2 weeks later, hunting season starts, and it's like, where the hell did all these things
They
go?
all
They were
disappear.
just laying there 2 weeks ago.
All gone.
They're checking their calendar.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm going to post this link one more time. Oops, that's not it. Porn link I keep posting. I mean, no. Yeah, we got 10 minutes left. Anybody wants to pop on and say what's up? Now's a good time. Crow Creek, good to see you. Sorry I didn't say hi earlier. Michael Haywood.
You know,
Who
it
else?
got to be where even pheasant hunting versus waterfowl hunting. I always really liked pheasant hunting, but to be honest with you, I mean, you're walking along and boom, they're up. You shoot them, they're down. Whereas when I put duck decoys out, and you see ducks on the horizon, and you're calling them, and they're working in, and they're circling, and your comeback calls, and then once you're trying to get them to set those wings and commit, and you're doing that feeding chuckle, you know, and all of a sudden they set their wings and come in, and you get to shoot them. It's like it's a 5-10 minute process sometimes. It's like the whole thrill of it. It's not just walking along and boom, there it is, and shoot it and it's over, you know.
Well, I've never waterfowl hunt. I loved pheasant hunting. You know, working with a dog is just was amazing. You know, but I can see where you know, like hunting duck, where if you're sitting in a blind or you know, and you're calling them and you're doing the work, and then you know you take your shots, and then it's the dog's turn. You know, to go out and fetch and.
Yeah,
So,
and
that's
a
cool.
lot of that is, you know, if they're your dogs, training those dogs. I had 2 labs that were really, everybody that I hunted with were like, how did you get those dogs to work together so well, right? And I took a 4x8 sheet of plywood and cut it in half, so they were 2 4x4 sheets, right? And I put an eyelet right through the middle of them so that when they laid flat on the ground, there was an eyelet in the middle. And I clipped an 18-inch lead that would clip onto the collar of that dog so that it's sitting down on the plywood. It can't walk away because it's anchored by this piece of plywood. And I do that with these 2 dogs about 20 feet on each side of me. And when I throw something, they did, just because there's something out there doesn't mean it's your turn to get it. I'd unhook one of them and let them go get it and come back. And then I'd throw it again and I'd let the other one go get it and come back. And sometimes I'd throw it and I'd go get it myself and come back, so that they learned you only get to fetch when you're told to go fetch. We get these guys up that we guide hunting that bring these dogs in, that they spend 10 grand for these dogs and to train them and everything else. And they get around other dogs and they go full retard. I mean, they don't know how to act around other dogs.
And the handler doesn't know how to control it because they didn't train it.
Exactly.
I think I know a couple of people like that.
So it's, you know, I always give advice to people who are training dogs. Train your dog. Find a friend who's got a dog and bring his dog over and do that method, so that both of your dogs learn to work with each other. Just because there's a pheasant down doesn't mean you get to go get it. It might be the other dog's turn. But
yeah, I see that just with my dogs, you know, and treats or something, you know. I could give one to Maya and then give one to Lucy, say 2 minutes later, and Maya thinks I'm giving her one and now she should get one. You know, it's like, well, wait a minute, you just had one. It doesn't register that way. Yeah.
She forgot she already got one. Or she's just being slick and knows that she already got one.
Yeah.
What I did with my lab,
she's playing me.
Mm-hmm.
Treats aren't cheap, you know, when you buy dog treats. So
no shit.
I could buy bags of Twizzlers for $2 a bag, right? So I'd buy Twizzlers and keep them in my shop. And they get used to your voice. Like I had one chocolate lab named Haley, and I'd take a Twizzler and I'd hold it out and she'd get ready to about take like she gets so excited she wants to chomp my hand off with this. So I'd pull it away. I'd say, Haley, you take it nice. And I'd hold it out and she'd come real slow and take it, you know.
Yeah.
And then one of my kids would be out there and they're like, here, Haley, have a Twizzler. And Haley'd come running by about ripping his finger off, you know. I'm like, that dog will not respect you if you do not talk to it the way it needs to be talked to, you know.
But you love him anyway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's incredible how every dog has a different attitude. I had a yellow lab and I had
different
a chocolate
personality.
Lab. Yep. I had a yellow lab and a chocolate lab. They're about the same age. And I have 2 acres of grass around my house that I mow on a riding mower. And the chocolate lab, she would walk 10 feet behind my mower the whole way. I mean, it's like, dude, we're going past the same spot over and over. She just keeps staying right behind me. Like, the other one's just laying on the deck, like, look at that fucking stupid dog walking around in the heat behind that mower, you know. But
That's all right. I had a Shih Tzu, Benny, and you know, towards the end, he went blind, but he was so smart. Even though he couldn't see, he knew where everything was. Until I went to stay with my daughter, and I'm sitting on the back patio, and I'm watching him go out. There's a canal in her backyard, kind of off the back of the property, and there's a boat slip right there, and I'm watching Benny walk around. You know, he walks around his regular spot to the left, and I'm watching as he's going a little closer and a little closer to the water. And just as I jumped up and I said, he's going to fall in, all you see him just walk off the ledge and boom, gone. I'm like, oh shit, I'm running out there because as far as I know, he was about 11 years old. I got him when he was 1. So in the 10 years that I had him, he never gotten any big body of water other than the bathtub. You know, so I mean, yeah, natural instinct. The dog's gonna, you know, it's gonna kick in and he'll swim. Well, he was he's an old dog. I ended up getting to the pier and I'm laying on my stomach, reaching out as far as I could to try to bring him in, and he can't see me, so he's following my voice, and that's what made me think about what you just said about him recognizing your dog recognizing your voice. He's hearing my voice, and I'm like, Benny, come. I'm outstretched as far as I can. He finally comes towards me, but then goes underneath the boat slip. So now I'm trying to figure out how to get him out. Yeah, I'm half in the water. I reached out, brought him in, but God, after that, he didn't go outside by himself anymore.
I remember when that happened. You told me about that.
My daughter heard me scream, so she comes running out the house, and she's dressed, ready to go. She was on her way to a funeral, and she's in heels, and she's running in the backyard, coming towards me, trying to help me, and ends up rolling her ankle halfway in the yard and hits the ground. I'm like, oh my God, Benny was running out of steam. He was running out of steam. I mean, the next time he went under, I'm pretty sure he wasn't coming back up. I mean, by the time I got him out, I was so exhausted from imagine reaching across on your belly and soaking wet. What was he, about 25 pounds? Having to lift him up and then bring him in. Oh God. And then I look over, my daughter's just sitting on the grass and she's laughing and crying at the same time.
It's funny because in chat, like Mary says, she's purring at my feet, or panning at my feet. Everybody's like, yeah, my dog's doing this, and
yeah. I got so many crazy stuff. We had our chocolate lab when I was married. When we first got married, my chocolate lab was outside, and it was like 20 below zero that night, and it had a doghouse. It was always warm, and they get hot. I mean, if they come inside, they're uncomfortable, right? Oh, yeah. But I was like, man, it's so cold out. We should let the dog in, right? We let it in. It comes into the bedroom and lays at the foot of the bed. And in 5 minutes, it's so hot, it's panting. And I remember laying in the bed, and the whole bed, it's like the hotel room where you put the quarter in the bed. We're laying in the bed, and I'm like, we got to put this dog back outside again, you know. And when I first got I had the chocolate lab for a while. When the yellow lab came along, I was down at the lake one day, and I thought, I wonder how big of a stick they'd actually fetch, right? So I threw like a 4-foot long stick that was probably about that round into the lake, and they both jump in, and they both grab an end of it in their mouth, and they're swimming towards shore, and they get up on shore, and they start running. Like, they must have thought, like, if I could run faster than the other dog, it'll be my stick, right? So they're both hauling ass with the stick between them. And my wife was walking with her back to us, away from us, towards the house. And these dogs are, and I yell, "Look out!" And it was too late. I mean, they were going
Did you
full
really, Jeff?
blast and hit
Did you
her
really?
right
He was trying
behind
to
the
get his camera
knees.
out.
They hit
He
her
didn't
right
say
behind the
anything. He watched
knees.
it happen.
Her
I'm
whole
sorry.
body inverted in midair. She landed
Oh,
on her
God.
head, and her flip flops flew like 30 feet in the air. They hit her so
Oh,
hard,
God.
just wiped her out. But
Did you laugh, Jeff?
You know.
how do you not laugh? Wait, I mean, I'm just.
You
tell
laughed all the way
Yeah,
through
but
it.
don't shit you.
You tell yourself for 3 seconds, don't laugh, don't laugh. And then you're like, oh, God, yeah, that was
Those 3 seconds wouldn't have happened with me. Oh, God.
I remember running up saying, "Are you okay? You won't believe how far your flip flops flew in the air, man."
She's probably ready to hit you with one of them.
She's all dazed and confused. What the hell was that?
Oh, God.
And it was your fault.
Yeah. Yeah. Wonder how big of a stick they can swim after here. Like, who would have seen that coming?
So, yeah. Wow. I thought it was going to be like they went to go around a tree and,
No.
it stopped it.
As soon as he mentioned his wife, I knew where it was going.
Oh, yeah. Then I was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys.
Yeah. No, go
Go
ahead. It was probably time to put a fork in this.
No, if you got another story, tell it.
Well, I may have told the story before. Did I tell you the story about when I thought my dog died? She was old. She was like 17 years old when my chocolate lab passed away, and I had let her out, and there was a lot of snow. I mean, there was like 3 feet of snow in the backyard, and she goes out there to take a leak, and I'm watching her, and she's ways out down the hill, and as she starts coming back, it looked like she was really labored and breathing weird, and I thought, what's wrong here? And she just flopped over. And I open up the deck door downstairs. I run out there and grab her, and I'm trying to carry her inside and lay her on the carpet. And she's done. I mean, she's out cold. I'm like, Haley. And she's like barely. I thought she had a heart attack. Oh, and so Joni had came downstairs, and I'd had this dog for 17 years. I mean, I had it before I met her, And I was like pretty tore up. I mean, I'm laying next to her, petting her, going, Haley, you've been a good dog. I'm saying my goodbyes. I thought she's dead. And I ain't too proud to say I was crying. And Joni was like, I'm going to give you some time with her. And I said, okay. And Joni went upstairs, and I'm laying next to her, and I'm telling her, Haley, I don't know what to do. I mean, it's some fucking February in Minnesota. I can't even dig a hole in the yard to bury you. And then I was telling her, I'm going to have you cremated and load your ashes in shotgun shells and take you duck hunting and blow you out across the pond each day. And she wasn't even breathing at that point. I mean, I was just done. And I was sitting there just laying there going, goodbye, Haley. All of a sudden, she snaps her head up and looks at, I mean, she'd been out like 15 minutes. She snaps up, looks at me, and stands up and shakes it, and then starts walking around like normal. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And I'm yelling, Joni,
did she come back changed?
Joni comes down and says, what's going on? I said, what's going on? She goes, well, I was praying for her upstairs. And I said, well, you must have been praying pretty hard because she was freaking dead, man.
Wow.
Freaked me out.
How much longer did you have her after that?
And she didn't live much longer. I mean, another 6 months. And I think she probably did have a heart
attack. At least
attack.
it wasn't the same day.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, she was 17 and a half years old, which is old.
Look, my German Shepherd, my German Shepherd, Casey, I got her when she was not even 6 weeks old. We had to bottle feed her, syringe, actually, little droppers. But then, I mean, we had her, she was 2 weeks away from her 18th birthday, and she was born on Valentine's Day. So
oh, wow.
She was almost 18 years old. And 3 days before she basically woke up one morning and you just saw the look in her face that she was just done. We had to have her put down. She wouldn't walk anymore. She wasn't eating. She but 3 days before that, she was in the yard chasing squirrels. And I'm like, oh God, oh my God. I'm thinking she's going to kill herself because she was running fast. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I hate to end it on this note, but
Yeah.
No. Oh no, I love that dog. She's a great dog.
Yeah. Dogs are awesome. I
They're like
you
your
know,
children.
I don't know where I'd be
You know?
without mine. You know, I
They're
don't
your
know where I'd be
children.
without mine.
They're family, you know. Hey, I'm gonna say
I
goodnight.
always, Lucy's getting old, so I always think, oh, I'm going to leave her with my sister. I'm going to leave her with my dad, or you know, I would always think that, and I'd always take her,
Yeah.
and I always will. You know, even she's getting older, but she's coming with.
You can't leave Lucy. Lucy Lou.
Or when one passes away, you see this a lot with other people. One passes away and they're like, you know, we're going to take a break from owning a pet and, you know, just think about it for 6 months. And it's like 3 days later, there's a new dog there. You know, it's like, can't. There's a hole that you just, the only part of the grieving process is, create a legacy, find another one and create more stories and then another
Absolutely.
relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's hard when you lose a friend like that because they are your friend. They're your family.
Yeah.
It's hard to even think at first of replacing it, you know?
Yeah.
So love them while you got them, guys.
Yeah.
Really enjoy them every day because they love you unconditionally, you know?
Absolutely.
So, well, listen, guys, we are going to wrap this up.
I'll say goodnight first. Thanks for having me.
Steve.
Bye,
Thanks a lot,
chat.
Stevie.
Can't see chat,
Thanks for-
but bye.
Thanks for sharing.
You got to cut me off if I don't have.
I got you.
We'll see you later, Mogs. Take it easy.
All right, Jeff. Thanks. Talk to you soon. Well, guys, I want to thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. It was a good night, you know, just laid back. If I didn't say hi to you tonight, I apologize. If I missed you, you know, I try to get everybody. But, you know, shit happens. Thank you again. If you enjoyed the show, please click that like button below. If you're new, subscribe and share it. You know, let's get this channel moving. You know, it's a positive channel, I think, and we gotta, you know, let's do something. Because if I hit the road, I'm going to be doing shows from the road. So that could be interesting. But all right, guys, if you want to donate to the channel, you can do so by clicking on the link that's going to be down in the description or on the page. It's in the banner in the lower right-hand corner. Everything's appreciated. On that note, y'all have a great night, and I will see you on Thursday. And, well, I say the same thing every week. I'll probably see you sooner. All right, guys. Thanks again. Peace and God bless.